Greetings everybody to my channel. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm here with Deuce and Ben. Y'all can obviously see their names. I won't be able to really hide that unless I get Saran to do it. I mean, not Saran, that's just Saran. I get my homie to do it, Lil X, to go through the editing and probably blur them out, but I don't think they care. That's not the point of this video today. The point of this video today is going to basically fill in the gaps of time that I have not done at all with much of anything in regards to recording or everything like that. I will say, if this, I'm not trying to jinx it, but if this does come out to not pick up like any of this at all, it is recording. We are a minute in, but if it does not happen to get any of these details, I don't mind doing it over, but I will be upset. I'm just saying, I will be upset. I don't know how Deuce will feel, but I will be upset if this turns out to be terrible. But practice makes perfect. I'm not used to recording on computer, and I just so happen to be doing this stupid crap on terrible ones, but we'll make it work. Anyways, guys, to start this off, pretty simple. Let's get to, explaining who's our favorites that we've seen so far in the current movies in the monsterverse. Obviously, my favorite kaiju so far that has been shown on the big screen has been Kong. It's always been Kong. Like I said in my in my last video, Kong is my favorite. I've been watching him since I was young. He will always be my favorite. He's the one that drew my attention more, even though Godzilla had all of these aspects to him. Kong was more of my favorite because I resonated with him more than Godzilla, personally. I guess we'll go down a line. Ben, I'm gonna have you discuss on who your favorite is and why.
Alright, so like, me personally, this has always been everything's a personal preference, okay? Obviously. Who our favorite kaiju is. My favorite, Godzilla. And even though, King of Monsters, for Godzilla vs. Kong, didn't really portray him in the brightest aspect. You feel me? The 2014 one. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yeah, that movie was a moment. I'm not gonna lie. When that movie dropped, it was a moment. Like, it shit was cool. It was so good. I mean, shit, it started a whole ass fucking universe. Am I not wrong? It low-key started the universe. And not only that, what made it good too, I'm not gonna cap, is that how Godzilla was not in it, but that don't need to be discussed. Godzilla, not only that, I always found fascinating how a big lizard could shoot nuclear breath out of his mouth. And yeah.
What about you, Deuce? Who's your favorite and why?
Then to like protagonist characters, I'm giving it to Kong. Always just listen, bro. I always love giant big monkey nigga. Me personally, one of my favorites. I'll give it that much. But if we're going for besides Kong, favorite one, I love King Ghidorah. I don't know, just the aspect of a 3-headed dragon that basically came from fucking outer space, coming down to Earth, and to just squabble with kaiju and be basically an alpha predator. Yeah. He sits right with me. Also, I love the scene of him literally picking up Godzilla and dropping that nigga to the floor. That was just perfect. Amazing.
But what happened later in that movie?
Yeah. Shut up, Nick.
Alright,
You Godzilla
before y'all
glazer.
start squabbling over the King Ghidorah versus Godzilla, which I'm pretty sure those fans is probably eating that up now since GXK came out, which brings us to our next topic of conversation. We're going to be ranking all of the movies from the first one to the most recent one that came out. Now, I don't think Ben's seen the new one. Have you?
Nah, I haven't seen the new one.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that out. I'm gonna leave that one out.
Okay, so you saw every other movie,
see if
correct?
I can actually look up the tier list.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. You can go ahead and look up the tier list while we're conversing. You know what? Ben, since you're the only one who has not saw the new one, and this will be a spoiler-free review for all of them, I feel like is the correct way to do it.
You can leave me out if you want. You leave me out. You can leave me out. Since,
you sure?
You know, yeah.
Okay. I mean, your opinion still is valid for
you
like
already know what my
all
number
the
one's
other
gonna be.
movies, if you've seen them all.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's gonna be invalid if I don't watch them all. You feel me?
Okay.
Because me personally, I feel like I have to see every movie. If I leave one out, you know, it's not gonna be the same.
Okay. Fair.
Well, boys, I found a list. It is unfortunately not the list I'd want, but it does actually. It's just a kaiju power scaling list, although it does have a ton of kaiju from the movies. I'm still looking for an actual movie list that ranks the movies, though.
Okay.
But most of them are just ranking the creatures themselves. So.
Well, in the meantime, for that, I guess I might as well go over first of each movie and how I feel about them. Starting off with the first one, Godzilla 2014. I'm gonna say, because we'll keep it regular scaling unless it's really good or really caught us, and we can probably rank them. It's been Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Skull Island, GXK, and then GVK. So that's 5. So we'll be ranking them 1 out of 5 as well. So I'm gonna say with this one, Godzilla 2014, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It's not my favorite. It's still a decent movie nonetheless. I'll say there's a lot of issues with it, but it is one that did start it off. But I will say that's one of the reasons why it's higher up there, alongside the fact that it introduced us to a new Godzilla, and its betrayal and stuff like that, along with a new kind of creature that I don't think was even canon to the original. So they customly created like the Muto and stuff like that. I like the idea, along with the novelizations that came out for it. I will say I enjoyed that. So I give it a 7.5. There was issues with it being too much human, not enough Godzilla, could barely see Godzilla. There wasn't really much fight. When it came to it, the fights really came like towards the end, or at least somewhat close to it being over. But other than that, I'm gonna say that's my issue. Okay, King of the Monsters, since that was like, oh wait, no, it wasn't King of the Monsters, it was Skull Island next, actually. So I'm gonna give Godzilla, I'm gonna rank that a 5 out of a 1 out. I'm gonna rank that a 5. I'm gonna rank that a 5.
5 out of 5?
Yeah,
it's definitely,
it's definitely a 5. It's definitely the least favorite one of the group, I will say. Next after that I'm gonna be going over, I'm gonna definitely say Skull Island. Skull Island is one of my favorites. Reason for that is, number 1, has Kong in it. 2, the way they did this Skull Island compared to the original, I will say I kind of like 2005 Peter Jackson better because of the creations with that. It felt more prehistoric, and it was using kind of like Jurassic elements to it with like the creatures and stuff like that, besides like the bugs and everything. I will say they did take it a step further with Skull Island. That's one thing I did like. I wish the skull crawlers, however, though, were a lot more of a challenge, something that actually were enticing to the story.
They should
Because
have been used better. Yeah, they should have definitely been used better.
first of all, why are you talking over my review? Be quiet. Anyways,
I'm agreeing with you.
hey, maybe you will, but I say the designs that I forget who was the director and kaiju like designer or anything like that, but in my opinion, one that was always my problem was the fact that the skull crawler's teeth and weren't really like something. It felt like they were so underdeveloped when it came to these creatures, the ones that really did matter in the story, like them. Because even when the big one came out, it was just a much bigger skull crawler, but that was it. There wasn't really nothing to differentiate it from it, but besides the fact that it was just a bigger skull crawler. Maybe this skull crawler, it would have been cool or interesting if you would have saw a skull crawler that may have extra limbs, much better prehensile tongue, to maybe do some cool crap with its tail, maybe like tail whip or something like that. Add some more feel into it, and I feel like there wasn't enough of that, but it's still nonetheless one of my favorites. It's well up there as, I'm gonna say, number 3 out of 5. Out of all of the movies, that is my number 3. So it's definitely up there, but Kong Skull Island could have definitely been a better movie. Now, after that is King of the Monsters. Now, look, King of the Monsters was a good movie. I'm not even gonna lie, definitely way better than it was 2014. They gave you a lot more kaiju showings. They released more kaiju, explained a lot more about the story, the things that happened. King Ghidorah being a big part of the movie, introducing the whole alpha aspect with all of these creatures and everything like that. Like the ideas around it, it was great, phenomenal. I'ma say, in my opinion, one of the main reasons why I didn't like it was because back at that time period when I first saw it, I was hating on it for the fact that even after it was out, they started to drop a whole lot of stuff for Godzilla, a whole lot more for Godzilla, and it was just, bro, I'm tired of seeing this man. And I did not care for him that much, which is why I'm so glad to say stuff about Legacy of Monsters. Even though I didn't even watch Legacy of Monsters, which is supposed to be, it's supposed to be, if y'all didn't know, by the way, Legacy of Monsters is like the gaps that fills in between the movies, low key. So, in Legacy of Monsters, they went a lot about Godzilla's storyline, and everything like that, like the before and then like the current, and then how he fought against some creature known as the Ion Dragon and everything like that. This was all like during his time, you know, away from the movies and everything like that. And then the same thing is for Kong, I believe, in season 2, because I watched a Way Willie video. Shout out Way Willie, by the way. I watched a Way Willie video on YouTube. He was talking about how it may be in the next season it's gonna be more about Kong, and they may do Kamazotz versus him actually freaking film. So I actually want to see that, because I know that it was in the comic, but it was not something that was a movie idea, which low key it would have been something I feel like would have been a great thing to have for Kong, especially preparing that his next battle would have been against somebody like Godzilla. Because let's be honest, bro did not have much chance to grow and you know, become a character until like GXK, which we'll get to that more in a minute. But I blame that on the directors and how their pacing of their story is. But that's just me being a Kong fan, not a Godzilla, but a Kong fan. Speaking of which is why I'm gonna bring it down to number 4, because although it was a good movie, it was not one of my favorites, and I'm gonna rate this movie 8.5, and Skull Island is gonna have as well as the same one. I'm gonna rate that at 8.5 as well. I forgot to rate it. The next one I'm going to rate and talk about is GVK, Godzilla vs. Kong. Now, when Godzilla vs. Kong came out, one of the things I noticed a lot was a lot of showings between the trailers and everything like that. They did a good job when it came to promoting this movie. When I saw the movie is a different story. When I saw GVK, I watched it firsthand at my homie house because he had HBO Max. Me, him, and another one of my good friends. Shout out them both. They know who they are if they watch this video. He was a Godzilla fan, and me and my bro that invited me over was a Kong fan. We wanted to see him win the fight. We watched it. The very first fight, obviously, it wasn't fair, I will say, mind you. And knowing a whole lot more that I know about what came down when it came to it, like for the fact that Kong was sedated throughout a good chunk of the movie, which means his strength wasn't even like at its peak performance. However, even though he was like forced to be weakened through a good chunk of the movie, he still managed to at least be able to defend himself against Godzilla, and he wasn't absolutely defenseless, which is what I actually like. I like that he wasn't absolutely defenseless, because it made it seem like he would be capable, or at least had some kind of capability. He just did not know it, or he doesn't know it yet in this movie. And the first fight is proof of that, even though Godzilla had the advantage from the beginning. But it still works. The second one, it was great. The fight in the city, it was awesome. When Kong started doing his thing, it was awesome. I will say a lot of people hate it. And if you've seen the movie and you're a Godzilla fan, you probably know why. But I'm going to say it's not the worst thing. I will say I hate how it turned out towards the end of it, because it just gave something that Godzilla fans, basically been chewing on for the longest time. Mechagodzilla being one of the villains. Then how he loses though is the thing I did not like. That was one thing aside from the fight that I didn't like. I didn't like how Mechagodzilla lost. I will say that ruined it for me as well. Other than that though, GVK was the start of something glorious between these two, and maybe we may actually hopefully get to see more 1v1s between them, because I will say to those Godzilla fans out there that believe Kong can't do anything, just you wait. And it may not happen in the monsterverse, but if that means you're gonna have to go and see it somewhere else, shoot, you're gonna have to see it somewhere else where something similar to a Kong specimen can actually put the paws on a lot more creatures like Godzilla than you think. We're actually 19 minutes into the video. Aside from that, I'm gonna say GVK is the second spot for me I'm gonna definitely say it's in second place. And this movie was a 9.5 out of 10. And finally, the most recent movie that came out. I watched this movie twice in theaters. First time, I enjoyed it. Second time, I enjoyed it. I'm going to just go over my experience the second time, because the first time, it was pretty much mostly the same. The second time, I noticed a whole lot more. So I'm going to just kind of like merge them together, if you would. So GXK was phenomenal. I'm going to say that it felt more like a Kong movie for what they was doing. Better showings of Kong, I will say. It showcased more of what he's capable of in this movie. Showcased that now he has better allies, better assets to his side, a new weapon, which I'm always here for, to be honest. I will say this weapon is way better than the axe, but who knows how useful that axe is going to be for much longer. But anyways, fights was more visible. Fight was great. Should have been longer. The brawls in this fight, not even just with Kong, but Godzilla being basically filling in that side of the movie where he was just squaring off against Kaiju. I will say I wish those fights were much longer, because it would have given the movie a whole lot more substance to work with, and at least would have drug that movie on to 2 hours at most if the fights were much longer between Godzilla and the Kaijus that he went against. When it came down on Shimu and Scar King, WWW. Mostly everything about that movie was great. I love Zuko. I love that we pretty much now have Kong as Kratos and then Atreus being Zuko. So it's funny. It's funny looking at it like that, but it's low-key what it is, to be honest. I'm going to definitely say, this is probably a hot take, but I'm going to definitely say GXK is by far my favorite movie out of all of them. Will I say that it's the best? Probably, in my opinion. I say it's the best, but there's a lot of issues with that movie too. I will say, like, Scar King, well underdeveloped. Low-key needs more time. Low-key needed more time of growth and development. Should have been a way longer fight. His lore should have actually completely meant something, aside from it being something so simple. Because Godzilla just literally made Scar King a cakewalk. And the only reason why he was an issue was because of Shimo. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of despise it because of that. Because one, that's disrespecting a primate from one of the goated species in Kaiju anyway. So, other than that, I'm going to say, yeah, it's definitely my favorite out of all of them. Over GVK, over Kong Skull Island, King of the Monsters, and Godzilla 2014. That's my review. Deuce, how do you feel about all of the movies, and what's your placement on them?
Alright, starting off with the first one I'd say 2014. That one's dead last. Still, great way to introduce a new Godzilla and back into the monsterverse again. It's just, which everything else I'm going to talk about, not as great, but again, I actually did like the way they introduced Godzilla, all of that. But I got more to say about 4. Now 4 I had to really think about for a second. That being Skull Island. Now don't get me wrong, I'm a Kong fan too. I love my big monkey bro. Love that nigga. That being said though, yeah, like I thought the movie was good. They should have low-key done a bit more. I'm not gonna lie to you. Especially when it came to some of the other kaiju. Again, you already mentioned the skull crawlers were a big thing that I thought they could have definitely expanded on a bit better. I did like the introduction of Kong though, how he's a huge player now, and even though I'm sure the next kaiju movie we're gonna not really be focused on bro as much anymore, back to our main man Godzilla. But hey, I'm still all here for it. Honestly. Yeah, that's my fourth. My third place. Had to think about this one for a second, but then I said, nah, fuck it. So it's Godzilla versus Kong. That's my third place. Which is a bit odd, but my second place, I'm assuming you already know what it is, but essentially, for the reason I put that in third, right? Dear Lord, low key, they were kind of disrespecting my boy Kong throughout that whole movie. Like, listen, I think the giant radioactive lizard was cool. I do. At the same time, they mean that thing was pulling off stunts that I didn't think he could even do. That Loki, I believe he shouldn't be able to do. Not only that, but also he jumped bro twice. Well, okay, no, really once. Bro really beat him down in a already battered state for no reason. Nah, bro, I can't have that disrespect. On the plus side, though, I did love the whole, the discovery of Hollow Earth. Kong getting the axe was pretty fucking cool. I wasn't fully expecting Mechagodzilla. Well, I kind of was, but still, I like how they pulled him off. The way he died wasn't like the greatest, but not bad in either way either. So, can't say I hate it. I do like how they still kind of end it with the whole fact of that just because those two work together once, they are not homies, and that's still expanded on even in Godzilla X Kong. But we'll get to that when I get to that movie, because that will probably be my longest part of this. Kind of summarizing my feelings for these movies, because you kind of said a lot of stuff that I would say, except again different places. Number 2 is King of Monsters. Now again, not as big of a Godzilla fan. Reason why it's so high, King Ghidorah. That's it. I love that 3-headed nigga, bro. One of my favorite kaiju, favorite destroyer type kaiju. I did again also like how they introduced the whole Apex thing when it came to him. Honestly, bro, I'll say again, that scene of him picking up Godzilla and slamming bro down, great scene. W scene, bro. Be quiet, babe. We'll continue our argument later. Shush for now, bro. Shush for now. But final movie, JXA. I'm gonna go over this one because I vividly remember this one more. Watched it twice. Low key, if I'm gonna ever redo this list again, which I probably will, I'm gonna rewatch all the movies back to back, and then I'll be able to give much more clear and concise reasons on them. But at least for JXA, I can say I loved a lot of what they did in that movie. I'm not gonna lie, as much as the human interaction was a problem for some people, I understand why it has to happen, because without them interacting with kaiju, 90% of the movie wouldn't really have happened, or at least it would have gone down in a completely different path. But I will say I do also like the whole kind of father dynamic they are starting to do with Kong, and how that nigga's just Kratos now, like dead ass, bro. He got the axe and everything. Cybernetic arm too, which is pretty cool. I like how they did with the Beast Glove and how powerful they made it. I also again do like the whole thing of them stating that after fighting Mechagodzilla, Kong and Godzilla still just have beef, on-site beef too. Because the moment Kong in that desert, bro, Godzilla saw bro, just noticed bro's presence, and he said, nah, bro, we running it back. Round 3, and they started scrapping. I'm not gonna lie though, seeing Kong uppercut Godzilla, one of the best scenes in cinematic history. On God, bro. But skipping past that, villain when it came to Scar King, I love how they did, bro. Wish they did a little bit more with him. Not gonna lie to you. That being said, his fight against King Kong was pretty good. Him being much more agile wasn't really surprising considering his build, and also bro literally whipping him was pretty damn hard. I'm not gonna lie. Although once Kong hit bro a few times, he said, "Nah, I'm gonna start cheating," which he did. I gotta say though, I did like a lot of the stuff they did in that movie. Probably one of my favorite. Bringing Mothra back was interesting. Didn't think they would actually do that. But hey, bro, it good with me. Also, Godzilla's new form was just pretty. I'll say this makes sense for why it's pink because the whole UV radiation thing and pink being the highest, most like dangerous color. That being said, bro, seeing half of the internet either saying Godzilla is trans, or Godzilla is now a woman, that was just some grade A shit, bro. Before we finally figured out why he transformed like that.
Let people dream, bro.
All in all, though, I give that movie would be definitely my number one. That's my list.
Yep. That was a pretty solid review. I'm gonna be honest. The last thing I want to touch upon, because this video is 31 minutes long. Wow, we've talked decently.
Yappers.
What do you guys want to see for the future? I think that's a good one to ask. What do you guys want to see for the future?
Who you asking? Who want to talk first?
I want to actually hear what your opinion is first, Ben.
Me. To be honest, okay. Obviously, I'm using knowledge from what I've seen. All right, I've seen some things like some little mini clips from TikTok. Scrolling not any major scenes. Like I saw that desert one. Staron was talking about when Kong was trying to call Godzilla. Godzilla noticed him, ran straight at him. Godzilla. Hey, I'm gonna be honest though. Kong whooped his ass, even though he was caught off guard at first. He still, from what I've seen, I think he still whooped his ass. At first, he had his hands up, saying, "Hey, bro, nah, bro, I ain't tripping, bro. We cool, you feel me? I'm trying to be homies." And then Godzilla, fucking hit stick that motherfucker into through a pyramid or some shit. But anyways, my fault. What I would like to see more is definitely more from Kong, because I'll be honest, I wasn't really a big fan of Godzilla versus Kong, is because how much they tried to show how at first superior Godzilla was to Kong. You know what I mean? I don't like that. I feel like Kong has a bigger chance of beating the shit out of Godzilla more than Godzilla has than beating the shit out of Kong.
That is, I ain't gonna lie, coming from somebody that likes Godzilla more too, is interesting. You definitely gonna have, if there's any Godzilla fans that pop up on here, they'll definitely say something about what you just said in here, but I'm gonna stand by that too, not just because of I'm a Kong fan, but I feel like it makes more sense for him because fundamentally, if we put aside the fact that he has an atomic breath, something that is allowing him to basically combat people at a extended range, aside from fighting them up close and everything like that, I feel like Kong it makes more sense for him to have more upper body strength.
Can I add something too?
What's up?
Mm-hmm.
Like real quick, it's actually a question.
What's up?
Wasn't Kong able to control lightning in the older movies?
Actually, yes.
Yes, in one of the older films, yes.
All right. Why the fuck can't he do that now?
Well,
the writers just kind of never gave him that ability back. It's more of probably a direction-wise thing they're doing. Not give him his lightning-based abilities.
Whoa. We can also say this because we don't know. I will say that there's also the mystery that we don't know what they're going to do when it comes to any kaiju, really. They could give, bro, anything. I don't think Kong's time is over with, and it's going to be any time soon. For one, first and foremost, GXK made the monsterverse a buttload of money, meaning that their budgets and being on what they can afford, especially with Adam Wingard, who's working on the next movie right now, which He already did say that it's gonna be more Godzilla based and everything like that. Blah blah blah. But I'm hoping that just like how Godzilla was shown in this movie, that Kong gets some kind of light in that movie too, even though it's more Godzilla centered. I just hope he does not get left out of the film, or if they do, then it just gonna have to be solo movies for now, until they come up with an idea to make it work together. Which I'm gonna say this, since we're talking about how we feel about what to expect, let's make the next and last thing about our theories on the series and how it'll probably go. But my take is that what I expect and hope is that one, Kong gets more showings. We get more of an explanation on Godzilla's side. Because I will say, I mean, although I'm not the biggest fan, it makes sense to at least learn more about him and the origin behind it. And if there is potentially one of my personal favorite variants of Godzilla, Space Godzilla, to actually be a thing in this universe. Because I think that'll actually be cool if Space Godzilla ends up becoming a enemy, and how he would be portrayed in the monsterverse. I hope he does not get one-offed, because that would make me mad. Especially if they make Destroyer 2 into a villain. That would make me mad too as well if he gets one off. But if they make these fights between these big bads, if they add them into the monsterverse, they better make these fights with these big bads awesome. But I'm thinking that Space Godzilla is coming soon, because they just introduced crystals.
You think they should make a Godzilla in Hell movie?
You said what?
You think they should make a Godzilla in Hell movie?
Nah, I don't think so. We're about to see what's going to happen to. We're about to see what's going to happen with bro, since he's gotten that new evolve form. You ain't see it, but I will say, for your information, it did say in the movie, this is not a spoiler, but he's 20 times stronger than what he was. Which is what makes the pyramid fight between him and Kong so much more interesting, low key. Because he's fighting against a much stronger Godzilla and is able to be more capable too. So you do see that.
And yeah, and he was caught off guard too.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to ask about Kong, isn't Kong portrayed as like younger, like more of a juvenile age, or
nah? He was
not juvenile, but like, you know, like closer to it than more like middle age.
Technically, yeah, he's not that old. Even though he's been around for some decades, he's still not as old as somebody like Scar King. Nor if I don't think he's fully grown yet. I think Kong's gonna do a little bit more growing before he's fully grown. Because I know he's got like a few more years left in him for him to grow some more. But he's definitely up there now compared to his previous iterations.
Alright. And including with the clips I seen on TikTok, I saw there's like another monkey, but like orange. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Zuko.
Zuko, yeah. From what I've seen of like height, he's and like age, he's gonna like grow faster. But or like, how do I say this? I failed the second grade, y'all. Don't mind me. Like he's already Kong's like near Kong's height at like a baby age.
Yep, he is near. He is near Skull Island Kong. The reason why he is because I assume, and this is a perfect, I think this is a pretty good theory, is that the Hollow Earth energy, which is what kept Scar King alive for so long, instead of him probably dying of old age or whatever, the Hollow Earth energy is a big part of that.
Alright, but I mean, we talk about all these characters, but we all know who really is the strongest. Doug, I think his name is.
Bruh. This man said Doug.
Nigga, don't bring up Doug, nigga.
Y'all don't fuck
Bro,
with Doug?
man, I think it's about time. Saran, I'm gonna let you go over what you want to expect from the MonsterVerse before we get into our theories. Because I actually do got a theory in regards to Doug, actually.
Let's see. Well, I kind of do want to see more what happens with Kong. Maybe not in this next movie because I know it's more Godzilla based, and I don't need a fully Godzilla based movie. But I don't really mind it. But eventually, at least seeing how Suko develops as well. I think that would be really interesting as well. But another thing I also want is just to see more kaiju, like in general. Like nothing stupid because I've seen comics and other shit. I've seen some of the stupid shit that may or may not appear. But that's fine with me. I will say, I would like to see how they do Space Godzilla. I feel like that'd be fucking cool as hell if they made that nigga an enemy. Same with how you did mention Destroyer, big bro. I think that both of those would be like amazing enemies. Just to see what they get, to see how they box against Godzilla. Although, not gonna lie, knowing how the MonsterVerse has kind of been doing its villains, or the big bad, they do seem like if they were to introduce them in that same movie, they would get one. They would end up dying. So that's my only real problem with it. I would still again like to see how them introduce some more kaiju. Don't really have much else I'm really hoping for. More information about. I don't really, not even gonna really say I wish for more stuff for Godzilla because Bro's currently at his highest form, which I think low-key that's the form we're gonna get stuck with for a while unless they somehow make him stronger. But I don't think that's physically possible anymore. So at this point, I just kind of want to see, what else is that form capable of, which we will be seeing, and also we will inevitably learn more about how Godzilla works. So I'm not really hoping for it because I know it will happen eventually.
Anything else you would like to add?
Nah. I want to hear these theories Big Bro has.
Next things next and final. I don't know why
Ben left the meeting.
Next things next and final. And this will be the last bit. That being our theories. What kind of theories or... Oh, there he is. He's back.
My fault. My shit was glitching. My fault.
I was in the middle of typing something out. Other than that, though, what are you guys' theories for this series? Doug, I heard a theory that Doug apparently might be a subspecies of Godzilla.
I kind of heard that too. Do you think
he might end up being somebody that Godzilla has as a Gojira Jr. or something, like he did in his old movies?
How do you think about it? Like, what do you think about the idea of that?
Godzilla, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Although this one has more of that, it's a good. He's defending the planet's balance and everything. I like it that Godzilla has the role he has in this movie because I don't picture him like that. No, he did
like
not
what?
have. He does not look right having the symbolisms of raising young or anything like that. And the fact that he's going around destroying everything, I feel like him as a character like that, low-key, works best. Because Godzilla's not supposed to be relatable. No. Not even the slightest. Maybe I picture him as somebody who is an ally and everything like that. And, understands. But I just feel like never in Godzilla's nature, even out throughout a lot of his iterations, it just don't seem right for him to have somewhat of a similar portrayal like Kong does, in my opinion. And I feel like that's where a lot of people get it wrong. I understand they love Godzilla like to death, and they believe that, oh, he should find his people and everything like that, and go through the same phase as how Kong is. But do I think that's smart? I think it's too predictable. Because then at that case, they'll just be making the monsterverse all about them two finding each other's like groups. I feel like Kong deserved that more because a lot of Kong's storyline, it was always Kong by himself. We didn't care about Godzilla being by himself because Godzilla was too chaotic. That was his nature, to destroy things, get back against humanity, and all this other stuff. And I know that it's a different portrayal in the MonsterVerse and everything like that, but I still do feel that way when it comes to Godzilla. I don't think he needs something similar to Kong, because Kong as a character, he's more symbiotic, if that's the right word to say. He has more symbolism with that. His story has always been filled with tragedy. I mean, Kong's never even had a good ending to his story. Throughout all of his iterations, he's always been killed off. And him as a creature, it's just always been easy to do that. Which is why, in my novelization that I'm working on with Kaiju, I am working forward to working with that, but also a whole lot more of an expression that I feel like works well. But Godzilla, no. How do you feel about what I said, Deuce, about everything like that?
I kind of
agree. Do you think they're going to follow a family dynamic thing the way they're doing with Kong and how he found his people? You think they're going to try and find Godzilla's people and get him back connected? And
honestly, I'll be honest. I like how they do it with Kongs, because for Kongs it makes sense. Because how actual apes make sense, how they base. They're social. Here's the deal with Godzilla. From everything we've seen, he's anti-social at best. And there's only very few kaiju that he will team up with. Example, Mothra is one, because they have a kind of thing going on. But even still, it took a bigger threat showing up just for him to work with Kong 2 times. And keep in mind, let's be honest, knowing how their relationship is now, even after this movie, I'll say at this point, yeah, the first time they see each other, maybe it won't be on site like it was before. Certainly not. But I will say this, most likely it's still not like really great, if anything else. So if it like frenemies type shit. So if anything else, I'm saying for that route, if they are to go that route in this next movie, they are going to have to seriously change up some facets about Godzilla's character, or at least show that the reason why he was doing all that crap, the way he was acting, which again, the way he was acting in again, basically all the movies, was he doesn't really care too much about protecting people. He just cares about fighting off the other kaiju, because he considers the surface his domain, basically. So unless they're gonna try and tie that into some family aspect, which I don't think they will, and if they do, I don't really know how, because again, Godzilla seems more like the kind of kaiju who only does things for himself unless he has some sort of personal beef, like he did with Scar King, obviously. So I don't think that they should go that route, and if they are to, they better have a damn good way of showing it.
What do you think, Ben, when it comes to that?
Want me to make it short or keep it long?
Hey, man, it's up to you. It doesn't matter. This is a whole discussion, my boy.
I'm gonna keep it short, all right? Because I haven't seen it. All right, you know what I'm saying? I haven't really seen it.
Well, yeah, you haven't seen that, but the question is, just to reinstate it, The question is this. Well, so you know that Kong did eventually, he did connect with his people. The question is, do you think they're going to try and go the route with Godzilla the same way? And do you think that would be a smart idea as well as a good idea with Godzilla's character? Why or why not?
Sound like some bullshit to me. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Why is it BS?
Cause I remember. All right, I'm gonna bring up kind of what you didn't really talk about, but kind of was a part symbolism. You know, if you want to bring up symbolism, Godzilla's reptiles. All right, what are reptiles known for?
They are
You know,
mostly
like
solitary. Yeah.
yeah, you know what I
Few
mean.
of
Only
them are
do
mostly
shit for
solitary.
themselves. You know, so it wouldn't fit. And then like family aspect, they're doing that with too much movies, bro. They're making it too like hard. I want to see some action. I want to see some hands, some atomic breasts. You know what I'm saying? Some tail whipping.
Hell
Ain't
yeah.
no one trying to. Ain't no one trying to see no Godzilla orgy. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Godzilla orgy is crazy.
That's crazy wording.
But you know, it just it wouldn't fit. It just really wouldn't fit.
I say to add on to what you said, yeah, you could look at it from a animal aspect. You could look at it like that too. Um, Another reason why I say it wouldn't fit is because Gojiras, I feel like I just don't think more than one Gojira would get along well with each other like that. I feel like they're way too territorial to get along with another one of their species. They try and fight each other to see who's better than the other one for that territory. I feel like that's just too much for there to be more than one Godzilla. And then if you look through like all of the history, it did confirm a lot that Godzilla, this one that we see a lot with Kong, has been around for a lot longer than it's been depicted. But I think he's one of the younger ones because we had one that's like Dagon who died to Muto and stuff like that. There was other ones, but um, I swear, just like there was that Kong species down like when this Godzilla was much younger, who took away his habitat from him. I don't know if y'all knew about that, but he's one of they call him the what's his name, the rival. They call him the rival. He don't have no exact name, but he was a Kong specimen who basically beat Godzilla so bad he ran him out of his territory and basically took it from him. Now that, give or take, could have been just a weaker, much younger Godzilla who didn't have that much of an energy output, didn't really know how to fight very well and stuff like that. There's a whole lot of outliers to it, to be honest.
I mean, Godzilla still doesn't kind of know how to fight. I'm gonna be honest.
I will say he improved a whole lot more. You gotta watch GXK, but that just may be because of you know what. But either way,
Yeah, but like, let me tell you something Godzilla does. All right. This is another reason why I like 2014 Godzilla. 2014 Godzilla was actually kind of like using his hands. You know what I'm saying? He made Muto's mouth open. All right, and sprayed the breath. You know, atomic breath into Muto. That was hard. That was a hard scene. No way you are gonna deny that.
Mm-hmm.
But it feels like ever since then, he just sprays that atomic breath. Like, that's all he does, bro. He just sprays it.
bro, see, you're not the only one who agrees there because I thought the same thing. Because he definitely sprayed the atomic breath so much throughout GVK, it was insane.
Bro, I'll say this, bro. It's become so much of a goddamn joke, bro. I swear, whether I'm on reels or fucking shorts, bro, I can be scrolling, bro. If it's kaiju related, bro, half the damn time there are memes about how Godzilla starts losing, and then you start hearing that wind up sound for the beat. Like, swear, because he uses it that much.
59 minutes in, bro. We reached an hour of recording. Yeah. Definitely, Keyshawn has a lot to work with.
Indeed, I do.
What's up, Keyshawn? I ain't never met you.
He will definitely be getting this recording. Hopefully, he is up. I'm not sure if he's awake because he should have been home by now. Because I called him about like a good 2 or 3 hours ago, so I expect him to be awake. But all I'm gonna say is I appreciate you guys for being on with me tonight to talk about some stuff. For a good second video. I hope you guys can come back on soon. We could probably get some debates running soon on here. Maybe with some kaiju, some monsters you feel. I don't know.
Not only that, you feel me? Some of the video ideas I gave out. Just saying.
Depends, because I kind of want to keep certain things separate for other channels, which it'll give me an idea of what I could post for another channel that I'm going to come up with shortly. Don't know when, but shortly. I'm going to have to remake my original main, give it a different name, everything like that. Do some reworking, definitely some reworking. But anyway, guys, what do y'all want to say to the people before we dip off? Any final words or final things?
I'll go first. Godzilla whooped King Ghidorah's ass.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Yeah. You want
a whole power boost to do it. He needed a whole power boost to do it. His ass was getting that nigga's ass was getting knocked around. Nigga needed a whole power boost.
Hey, I know your ass was excited for 1 second when you saw King Ghidorah's head pop out just for him to get blown to pieces, bro. I know your ass.
Off. That pissed me the fuck off, bro. How did they disrespect my king like that? Them niggas.
Your sunshine?
Fuck that nigga, bro. Fuck that giant radioactive lizard, bro. So they got uppercutted him twice, low key, bro. 3 times.
Not my fault. My king destroyed your king, but whatever, bro.
That's wild.
Man, shut your bitch.
Your man got stepped on, so I don't know. Your man's got stepped on.
See, man. Look, he only got stepped on. No, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. Because I was going to say because of plot reasons. But see, we don't stoop to no goofy boy levels over here. All I'm gonna say is because Kong lost because of inexperience. But there's definitely
that was because of plot.
Inexperience. There's definitely a change in that inexperience in GSK though, for real. It definitely laid down some ground rules for real.
No, they was just Ho and Kong. I'm gonna keep it a buck. They was Ho and Kong right there.
They was Ho and Kong. I'll completely agree with that.
I will say that, but I don't want to say it to certain individuals. You know, certain Goji fans be toxic. But,
hey, hold up. Any of y'all toxic Goji fans talk crazy to me, bro? Meet me, bro. Both of them know I will catch a fade with you. Both of them, they both can confirm that I will catch a fade with you.
He can. I'll give him that much.
Anyway, guys. I enjoyed this time of conversing with y'all for about an hour of recording, low key. They probably won't see this as an hour. It'll probably be maybe 40 minutes, maybe, after Keyshawn's done editing out all of the bull crap in the video.
The dumb shit we was talking about.
But anyways, as always, look forward to more uploads soon. I'm still trying to get in contact with Wade to get some things rolling with Wade. That'll probably be a whole lot more different, low key. I'm wondering how that one's gonna go. To be honest,
Well,
I'm looking forward to
I was about
that
to
if I
say,
can get in contact with him.
I was about to say something, but never mind. Never mind. It's
Don't be
probably gonna ruin
wild.
your
Don't be
character.
wild.
It wasn't gonna be that wild.
And then maybe
Keyshawn,
huh?
Keyshawn can edit this part. Keyshawn can bleep this part out. All right, Keyshawn. The next few words I say, bleep it out. All right.
This man
Wade,
warned
if
him.
you don't respond to Jamarion, you hate Mexicans. All right. bleep the whole part out, please, Keyshawn, bro. Bleep that shit out.
You hate Mexicans.
Nah, bro. Keep everything in. Just bleep Mexican.
Yo, y'all gonna make me look racist, bro.
But alright. We go see y'all the next one.
I love my girlfriend. Peace.